New recording. Pause recording. Orientate. Bluetooth. 86% waveform.
Oh, the battery drains pretty fast in this bloody phone. Anyway, I'm doing a voice memo. Say it again. Voice memo. I'm doing a voice memo recording, and I've been listening to Netflix for the past 2 hours. 13 Reasons Why. I finally got through 13 episodes, and I know it's only a movie. It's not as if it's reality TV or anything, but I tell you what, as a reflection to reality, I know this is all fictitious shit, but it's a reflection on reality. You know how you can just tell that some movies are definitely fictitious and some fictitious movies are fictitious in nature, but somehow reflect on real life. Maybe the story's not based on a true event. Hang on, fucking train's going past. Maybe the story's not reflected literally on a true story, based on a true story, but actually reflects reality in many ways, if that makes any sense. Some fictitious movies are like that, and this happens to be one of them. And episode 13, I must say, was the worst I've seen, or rather heard with audio description. It is the worst shit I've ever seen in a long time. The movie was great. The whole lot of episodes were lovely. Like, they were very good with acting, and it seemed so realistic. Yet episode 13, there was so much shit in it, and so much denial, and so much fucking lying. Look what happens in the real world. Same shit. It still happens today. And for all the anti-bullying campaigns at schools and universities, nothing's changed. And this movie just proves a point. Nothing really changes. We say that it does, but really, no. Which really sucks. Anyway, the sun is coming out today, so onwards and upwards, as the saying goes. And don't quote me on this, but I think on Friday night, I can't be certain. So don't assume that it's happening, please. I might be doing a recording, We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what goes down with this. But yes, I've struggled finishing watching 13 Reasons Why, and I've also been crying out for the sun to finally start appearing in the sky. And even though I can't physically see it, I can feel the sun on me, so I know it's coming back, and the rain is slowly dissipating. Slowly, I must add, because it's still a bit showery today, but it's clearing up, finally. But the bad news with the weather clearing up is it's not clearing up into a cool week of cool sunshine breezes. It's not doing any of that. It's clearing up into a very hot, steamy rest of the week. So rather than, the weather clears up and it's lovely and cold and a little bit sunny sometimes, where the sun's hot but the weather's freezing, no, none of that anymore, because I guess it's October and winter's over. So yeah, I plan to do a few recordings. Sorry, my cough's back at me a little bit. I must say that for the past 3 months, my coughing attacks have been slowly going away. So I'm getting to where it's not constant, really horrible anymore. And I must say that my life, without doctors, without medical supervision, without medical care, without medical attention, without any doctors and nurses, is the best I've ever seen yet. It just makes me think that having a doctor in your life, it depends on which doctor you see. But I have found that having doctors in my life has made me worse off than having no doctors in my life. I'm better off without the doctors. Hey, I could have it all wrong, and maybe I just saw a bad group of doctors who were just in it for the money. They weren't in it for the medical degree or the research or helping patients. They were just there to make money. And they had to have access to patients in order to make money, and so rather than helping, they simply bullied. Or rather, they continue to bully their patients because they know they don't know how to help. And if they knew how to help, they would rather choose not to be helpful because it's easier to make money than it is to help people. Okay, that's why I think that my life is better without a doctor. But who knows? Who knows? One day I'll find a lovely doctor. Anyway, my phone's draining really fast. God only knows. I need a new battery, of course, but I'm not getting one because I'm getting a new phone in a few months. A new phone. Yeah, so I've struggled with 13 Reasons Why, and I've got to struggle through the next five episodes, probably today or tomorrow, who knows. Oh shit, I've got to do that ice maker as well. I have to do it today, or do I? Nothing's going on today with me. I'm going out tomorrow.
Done. End. Pause recording. Done. Pause recording. Controls view.
Sorry, I had to let a really big cough out of my system. The biggest cough I've had yet today, like the biggest horrible cough, which is bad, but it's good that I'm not consistently coughing like that all day like I used to. So, the doctor that I saw in 2016 did say it was viral, but everyone has mixed opinions. It could be allergies, it could be a virus, but antibiotics haven't fixed it, so it's not bacterial, because if it was, the antibiotics that I took for other reasons last year, and and some antifungal stuff that I had to take quite a few times, and once again this year, would have fixed my cough. So it's not got anything to do with germs. It's got to do with not the bacteria germs, but the virus ones. So yeah, or allergies, but I'm not going to get tested for allergies. That's just a pain. I'm very old-fashioned with medical care. You only need medical treatment if it's an emergency or you've got a pre-existing condition requiring medical care. That's how I see it. Having to get a checkup because you're healthy and you might be getting sick but you're not sick and you just have to prevent getting sick. No, that's not what I believe in at all. I don't believe in prevention of unless you're already ill and you have to prevent issues relating to that condition, which I agree with. If you don't have conditions and you're just preventing something, or you're just preventing whatever illness you'd like to think you can prevent, yeah, well, I don't think so. I don't believe in preventing illnesses because, I might get sick. I'll get a checkup every 12 months because I might get sick. I might have a heart attack. Like, you're going to get sick and have a heart attack anyway, or you might never get sick or never have a heart attack. Having a checkup doesn't prevent any illnesses anyway. It just makes you look important to the doctor, and I'm like, no. I only understand all of that if you've got a pre-existing condition that you will have problems if you don't do certain things to prevent those problems or to lessen the risk of getting worse, or, if you know for certain, okay, if I had diabetes, I know I would have a heart attack if I didn't have a good diet. I would definitely have a heart attack or a stroke or both. I'd have a high risk of a lot of problems if I had diabetes, so, have a nice diet with no junk food and you lower the risk. But because I don't have diabetes, I'm not going to act like, look, I don't have diabetes, I'll pretend to have diabetes just so that I don't get diabetes. And maybe it might be an exception that I've got a family with diabetes running in my mother's side. Maybe I do need to prevent diabetes from getting to me because of my mother's side having diabetes in the family there. Maybe genetically speaking, I need to act and pretend that I've got diabetes when I don't have it, just so that I never get it. Maybe that's true, I don't know. But I'm not going to just pull a sickness out of the air and say, look, I want to prevent it. Seriously, come on. Get with the real world. I'll have medical care if something pops up where I won't survive without treatment. But, it's like if I go to get a checkup with guide dogs, if they say, do you have a history of mental illness, family history, I'm just going to say no, because they don't need to know about the rest of my family, they just need to know about me. I'm not going to the doctors to help the rest of my family, I'm going there to help me. I don't care about the rest of my family. It's like when I go to the eye doctor and get an eye exam, they ask about the rest of my family. I'm like, it's not about them, it's about me. But they don't listen to that. They say, well, yes, I know that, but we need to know what you are really high risk with and what you have a low risk of getting. So if you have a high risk of, if you have a history of eye disease in the family, you have a high risk of getting it, and we can prevent it and all this shit. Yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't really care. I don't give a shit, really. I just don't care. But this is how they are. All the doctors. I don't give a shit about the rest of my family. The rest of my family isn't going to prevent me from suffering. The rest of my family is not going to keep me alive. The rest of my family is not going to do anything to support my life. I need to support my life, not the rest of my family. What are they going to do? Oh, we have a high risk of diabetes, we'll protect you from it. They can't protect me from any of that. Doctors can't prevent me from getting sick just because they know the rest of my family is sick with whatever disease it might be. All they learn is that, oh, you're going to get sick one day. Jeez. Okay, so what? Maybe I won't ever get sick. Fucking doctors. I'll only go to the doctors to tick off the paperwork to say that I can get a guide dog. If they start asking shitty questions, I'll just say, yeah, well, just put no on all the questions. I'll tell them what drugs I have allergic reactions with. I'll tell them what allergic reactions I have. And then I'm just going to state very clearly that when I have medical treatment, I don't want any pain relief. I'll just state that very clearly. And make sure that everyone knows no pain relief. That's just how it is. And when the doctor says you can just take Panadol twice a day for a long time, I'll say, and that's good pain relief, is it? Since how does taking Panadol twice a day relieve pain? And then they'll say, oh, reduces it a little bit. I'll say, well, a little bit's not good enough. It's a waste of my time reducing pain just a little bit. So yeah, it wastes my time. Why would I take something when I'm still in pain? So yeah, I think the doctors are a bit weird. Oh, take some Panadol twice a day for a week and you'll still be in pain. Well, it won't make a difference if I don't take the Panadol, will it? So yeah, it's going to rain out here. I might walk inside. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm just going to walk inside and what else am I going to do? Yeah, what else am I going to do? It's going to rain outside. It's going to rain. Anyway, enough about doctors and nurses. I'm sure some people have a better experience because their doctors aren't from the same group of doctors I went to. So if I go to a different group of doctors, they're going to say something totally different, like, oh my God, you shouldn't have to live with this shit. Wow. And doctors are no help anyway, because when I ask them questions about can I take this medication with that type of medicine, they just say, no, we'll give you this. It's like, no, I didn't ask you about that. So they are not any help at all. They're of no help whatsoever. So yeah, what do I think? I guess I need to see a different group of doctors to get a different opinion. Because what else am I supposed to do? You know, what else am I meant to frigging do? Oh well. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick coffee and then I'm going to walk upstairs. Doing this recording. And don't hold me to it, but I am planning on doing a recording tomorrow. What else? Go up to visit John in his unit. And yeah. Alright. You know what they need to put on audio. Oh wait, it is on audio description. Hunger Games. I want to watch the Hunger Games audio described so that I can keep up with the movie a lot better. And the only way I can do that is when I've got my own Wi-Fi network and I can stream it from this computer website on my computer or on my phone. And when I've got it, I can do an audio recording of how I get to this website. It's not that difficult, it's just that I can't remember the name of this website and I need to find it, and it'll be on recording, of course. So yeah. Yep. God, what else am I going to do a recording of? Rachel, Keith, you do recordings sometimes too, I imagine, and I understand that you do Coles online shopping, so don't take me wrong if I decide to do a recording of doing online shopping. I'm doing it out of interest for myself, just so that you or anyone else can curiously, if you're interested of course, see what products I happen to like to buy. And no, there's no personal products that you don't need to see or hear about, so don't panic about that, because what I haven't told you yet, I guess I just haven't really needed to tell you. I don't think I wanted to tell you, because I guess I don't really tell people everything about my health. I don't have to, and I guess have the right, and maybe people don't have the right to know. I just see it whichever way you will. But what I haven't said yet, and I want to tell you, in a recording, because I want to say it, but oh, hang on a minute. Yes, I did say something about that. I forgot. We were talking at the library when I was talking about having, or did I tell someone else that? Oh, I don't know. I talked to too many people. Anyway, maybe I told you, maybe I didn't. But let's assume that I didn't tell you. Not that I care that everybody else knows I'm recording, because it's about me, and what I say is what I choose to say, not what people make me tell them. So it's my choice. I want to talk about it briefly. So anyway, I don't have personal products in my Coles Online history anymore, doing Coles Online, because I got a procedure done in May by a very lovely doctor, who was sadly part of this group of doctors I don't like, but I did like this particular doctor, but, not the other doctors, just this one doctor. She did a procedure to put a metal implant into my left arm, and it's a slow release medication in it that releases into your system, and it blocks off the menstrual cycle and it's birth control. But I'm not using it primarily for sexual favours. I haven't really changed, how I feel about sexual behaviour. If I wanted to do it, I would. If I don't want to, I won't. Too bad. I don't give a stuff really. But the fact is, it's not primarily for sex. It is for stopping period pain and reducing the menstrual cycle right down to nothing really. Because some people get it a little bit, other people get nothing. I get a little bit of blood spotting. Hey, at least I don't get a full-blown period, and I don't get extremely ill every month of the year. I don't mind if sometimes I may feel a bit off colour, but at least I can still say, look, I'm going out for a walk, I'm not entirely sick. I don't have to stay home to stay in bed. I don't have to take painkillers, which don't really make me feel much better. Sometimes the painkillers work well, sometimes they don't. After I got my wisdom teeth out this year, the doctor suggested to take Zantac with some anti-inflammatories to see if it works better, and it did. So yeah, when I get a new doctor, there are certain things I will have to tell them so that if something really desperate happens, they can't deny every painkiller. But at the same time, I will only accept certain ones that don't make me completely crook. I know that's everybody, but doctors try to give me morphine and codeine and I can't have it. You know, I can't have it. It's that simple. And then they say, oh, well, we can't manage your pain. It's like, well, I don't want you to manage my pain. I don't need pain management. And if you think I'm going to be very sore, give me an anaesthetic. It isn't that hard to anaesthetise me for a while. If you think I'm going to suffer that badly, give me an anaesthetic. You just don't want to do what you did to Michael Jackson and kill me. But that's not going to happen.
Pause recording. Button.
Sorry
Controls. Pause record.
for that
Controls.
sudden unscheduled interruption. I kind of needed to take a dump, which happens suddenly sometimes. Yeah, anyway. God, what was I saying? I'm having a cup of coffee before I go upstairs. Anyway, I guess if I find the right group of doctors, I can guarantee I'll be like, oh, how come I never got such good medical care like this earlier and things like that, and I'll be like, holy crap, you know. And then doctors always say it's up to you what you do. It's like, well, yeah, it is up to me. Look at me when I got my arm fixed with that metal bar in it. I never got any medical support for that. They just put it in and I never went back for a follow-up check, and I never got any help with physiotherapy or anything. I just did my own thing and I supported myself in my own way. I didn't need other people's advice or input. I used to go to the gym downstairs at the car park area, but it's a really shitty gym and I don't like it, so I don't go there anymore. And the personal trainer, she was very basic. She was okay, but she wasn't entirely, you know, she wasn't up there at the top of the list of trainers that I would pick for a personal trainer. Anyway, she was good enough for the shitty gym assignment that she had that she no longer has, and I don't care. I don't feel bad. Fact is, she did do a good deal to help me with getting my arm back to normal, and I credit her for that. There are some good things that she did, but overall I think I could pay money to get a better outcome with sports. That's exactly what's going to be happening, by the way. Yeah, I'll be sorting my shit out. And the fact that I want to sign up to do judo, I might just get a medical certificate saying I can do judo. Alright, because things can happen. You can break your arm, a lot of stuff can go wrong. I'll just inform the doctors if they ever do end up giving me morphine one day because they don't want me to die early or something. I won't be the one looking after myself, that's for sure. I won't look after myself. If I get morphine, they can look after me, and if they feel so burdened, don't give me the morphine. Like if I was having a heart attack and I got morphine, I'd spew up so much that I'd have a cardiac arrest from spewing a lot. On morphine, it would make my heart condition worse. If I were to have a heart attack today and I got morphine for it, I'd be in a worse state than if I didn't have the morphine. It's like when I have an anesthetic, I wake up and I feel like I've been running around the block for hours. With the way my chest feels, it's like I'm worn out and I've done a massive run around the block, and that's how my heartbeat feels in my chest, like I've been running. And I'm sure that's a fucking reaction, but anyway, they don't care that I have reaction to drugs. Doctors don't give a shit. They're like, oh well, we know that you're going to have a drug reaction. If we consider it non-life-threatening, not a life-threatening reaction, just say that you can have it. Tell them what reactions you have, but say that you can still have the anaesthetic despite reactions because they're not life-threatening. It's like, I react to Nurofen, but it's not life-threatening, so I can still have it if I take another tablet. I take codeine and morphine and it creates a life-threatening reaction. Oh, is it considered life-threatening? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Well, I vomit too much, so it probably is life-threatening, so then I can't have it. Tramadol causes a reaction, but it's not life-threatening, so I can have it. They're the discussions I need to take up with the doctors. And Maxilon causes a reaction, but it's not life-threatening, so I can have it. So long as I still spew up a lot, that's okay. I can have Maxilon because it won't help me stop spewing up. Just pretend that Maxilon stops vomiting. Pretend. Yeah, I'm fine. Big vomit. Yeah, I'm fine. Big vomit. Maybe Maxilon isn't working. Like, yeah, of course it doesn't work. Doesn't prevent vomiting at all. But let's just pretend that it does and give you some Maxilon for nausea. You mean Maxilon to continue nausea? To continue ad nauseum? Maxilon does not work. At all. Just doesn't work at all. I'm not supposed to be having coffee because my stomach gets unsettled and nervous when I have coffee, but it's not a life-threatening reaction, so I can have coffee. You know? So now I don't care, so long as I'm not in severe pain or having a major heart attack or anything really bad like that. I don't give a shit. I'm still going to drink coffee. Anyway, back to my point about doing online shopping on an audio recording. Because for anyone who knows of me on Audio Boom, I no longer have an Audio Boom account because it just wasn't working for me. YouTube is now my replacement of Audio Boom account. It is YouTube. It is better than Audio Boom, and I use it as if it were my Audio Boom account, which is pretty good. So yeah, even though some people know how to do Coles online, I'm doing it for the sake of curiosity. People get to hear what I like to buy because I'm interested to show them, right? But if there's anybody who doesn't know how to do Coles online shopping with VoiceOver or NVDA, which I'll show people in coming months, yes! Woo! If anyone does not know, they will find out, won't they? But for the people who do understand online shopping, you could either listen to it out of your own curiosity or just skip it entirely. So yeah, that's pretty good news, for one. Secondly, when I've got my Wi-Fi going, I'll be playing games all day and all night on the laptop. All day and all night. I'll be back on RS Games and I'll be back on Quentin C Playroom. Watch the space, because you're going to see a lot of computer games featuring in my audio vlogs. Blogs or vlogs? We'll say vlogs, even though the majority of my audio isn't video footage or isn't accompanied with video footage. But there will be a lot of recording stuff going on. So yeah, what's this?
Controls view. Pause recording. Controls view play.
That was Stacey speaking to me. Of course it doesn't record phone calls, but Stacey was talking to me. She'll be here this afternoon. I can't decide if I want to cook something or if I don't want to cook something. I don't know. I don't really like cooking. But yeah, you know, I will be doing a lot of computer related things on my audio vlogs when I've got Wi-Fi. And yeah, I am, you know, quite happy to announce that I can't wait until I get it sorted. I'll be going to an Optus store to get it done, which I don't think I'll do an audio recording of that because some things are a bit personal, like having to give out bank details and stuff like that. I don't know. I'll do the recording of me going to Optus and then I'll replay it later, and if I think it's too personal, I'll just delete it, and if it isn't too personal, I'll upload it. How about that? Never thought of that till just now, did I? Oh well. Anyhow, and about supposedly getting sick from drinking coffee, yeah, right. I've been drinking my second cup of coffee today really slow and I haven't even felt sick. So maybe I get sick from drinking coffee too quickly, where I've just rushed to drink it in a short amount of time as possible, like say a whole mug of coffee in 10 minutes. Maybe my stomach can't handle that because of what's in coffee, where it needs to, you know, one of these things where you need to drink it slowly for your tummy to process it properly, or some stupid bullshit like that. Anyway, it's going fine, and I've been drinking lots of water today, so yeah. Yeah, so I'll be dressing up a bit in a minute and going upstairs. That'll be good. Yeah. Every time Stacey says, "Can I come over tonight?" or "I won't be over till Friday," then says, "Can I come over tonight?" I say, "No, you can't. It's not okay for you to do that." Then I laugh. I'm like, "Yes, of course it's okay." And then I get tell the truth and say, "Look, in a few months' time, I could be anywhere, so maybe it's not always a good idea to just come around because I might not be home that night. Or I could be home late by 10 o'clock or something like that, so don't just come around unless you know that I'll be around soon, later on or something. Because otherwise you might be around, Stacey might be around all night on her own. Stacey might be around all night by herself and think, oh shit. No, but not to worry. I can let her know what's going on. But yeah, had a bit of spit up just, and I've always been like that. Every time I eat and drink a lot, I spit up a bit. I've been that way since I was a little baby, though. Always had spit up things, but it doesn't happen often, though. It's not like it happens whether I've eaten or I haven't eaten or bloody stuff like that. That's why when the anaesthetists ask about acid reflux, I'm like, well, not often, not very often. Like once in a while, yes, but it doesn't happen all day, every day. It doesn't happen severely unless I've eaten far too much food or I'm already sick with a bug or something. Then I get severe reflux until it goes away. But yeah, I just don't get it enough for me to take medication for it. They're like, okay. So then they take the caution side of, put a tube down my throat to put a ventilator on it so that way I don't get food in my lungs or spew or anything in my lungs. Do that every time just in case now. It always has happened, but I can go hungry for 9 or 10 hours and still spew up a lot of acid stuff like it doesn't. When I'm dehydrated, I still have a stomach full of bile juice, like full of acid stomach juice and that. It doesn't go away no matter how dehydrated I get. So when I get fluids in an IV and I wake up from surgery, I spew up all this stuff that I didn't even eat or drink previously for 12 hours, and then I can still spew up a big lot of stuff that I didn't even eat. It's like my stomach digests all my food. It goes down and, my stomach's empty, but it doesn't, it lets, acid and bile build up in it so that it's full of that without any water or food in it. Excuse me. Yeah. Of course, there's water in bile, I guess, from the fact that fluid has water in it. But, the IV fluids produce fluid in your stomach, and yet my stomach somehow holds it in, ready for me to spew it up later. And I don't know why that is. But the doctors have always said so long as I feel comfortable, I don't have to take medication. But it means every time they let my stomach go empty, it might not be actually empty. It'll be empty of any food or any water that I haven't drunk and eaten for 12 or 16 hours before surgery. But when I'm receiving IV fluids and anaesthetic, my stomach builds up a lot of fluid in it for me to spew that all up when I wake up. And the only way around that is to take medicine, but I don't want to take medication. I don't know, I just don't feel too uncomfortable that I need to take it unless I've taken something that builds up a lot of acid in your stomach and it doesn't stop producing stomach acid. So it just keeps on building it up till you start spewing it out because there's too much stuff in your stomach. Well, you take medicine to reduce it and it won't spew out because the medication prevents too much stomach acid build up. That works when I'm on drugs. Maybe I might ask the doctors next time, can I take medication before anaesthetic to stop acid production? So that I don't spew when I'm awake. And I will try and eat after that to see if I'm a lot better or not. Oh, God, who knows? I don't know. I don't have a clue. Nine times out of 10 I get sick after anaesthetic. It's only once in a blue that I don't. Maxilon doesn't fix it. I've said don't give me any Maxilon because it doesn't prevent me from vomiting anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think really. I just don't know. Anyway, oh well. I'm going to dress up and I'm going to go upstairs.
Pause recording. Button.